Welcome back, everybody. Today we are showing you the top 3 tools for thriving on a vegan diet. These will make your life so much simpler. Being vegan definitely can require a little bit more prep and planning and cooking time, and these tools we're about to share with you will really simplify your life and cut down on expenses, cut down on time cooking, and overall give you a better experience thriving on a vegan diet.
Yeah, if you guys want to cook some really delicious meals and some stuff that's really healthy, the Vitamix blender is definitely something you can use. You can make all kinds of really delicious, refreshing smoothies by blending up, kale, fruit, putting in your protein powder in there as well. So, you may want to eat more kale or more spinach, but you don't necessarily want to just make a whole big bowl and have to eat it all. So, if you mix the kale or spinach in a smoothie, with some fruit or almond milk or fruit juice, it can come out tasting really good. We've also made our own homemade hummus in the Vitamix blender as well. That's something else you can make that's pretty useful with it. And Ryan, do you know any other uses for the Vitamix blender?
Yeah, what I wanted to talk about was how useful it is in the morning time for me. I like to start my days off making fruit protein smoothies. I just feel like they're a great way to kind of get a jump start on my nutrition, like my nutrition goals. I usually start off with 3 cups of kale or spinach, 1.5 cups of cherries, protein powder, and then I use like bananas or dates, and then some water. And some chia seeds. So by making a smoothie in that and like blending it all up in the Vitamix, I'm able to hit my omega-3 requirements for the day. I get a huge boost in like folate, vitamin C, and iron from the spinach, and among all the other different vitamins in the fruits and veggies. And it just makes things a lot easier, given that I'm not a huge fan of salads in the first place. So, it can be a little bit more challenging for me to get all of my veggies in a day because I just don't enjoy eating like spinach and kale on its own. But whenever I mix it with fruits and stuff, it completely cancels out any of the veggie flavor, so I get the benefit of the veggies vitamins without having to taste them, and I just generally really enjoy the taste of the smoothies. And without the Vitamix blender, or not even the Vitamix, but without a blender, it would really dampen my ability to. It would really lower the quality of my life. Basically, having the blender just makes life a lot better. Overall, it allows me to meet my nutrition and health goals a lot easier, more efficiently, and that's why I definitely think the blender is probably number 1 on my list as far as like the top 3 tools on the top 3 tools for thriving on a vegan diet. I'd say the blender, like for sure, is number 1. The Vitamix is a pricey blender. If you have the cash flow, I highly recommend it. It's really nice. You can always get a cheaper blender. They sell them for like $30 at Walmart. But if you have the cash, the Vitamix is amazing.
I really like using the Vitamix blender after I get done with the gym. I can always make really good post-workout smoothies that absolutely taste delicious. Like, I'm legitimately like super excited to have like a smoothie that I
finishing that last rep and you're like thinking about that smoothie when you get home.
Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Just so refreshing and chilled, and you have your vegan protein powder in there. So it's a really wonderful tool to make fruit smoothies, and really kind of why the Vitamix blender is so good is it really mixes it up well. and it's
Really good job.
it's a lot bigger in size than other blenders, so you can really kind of make like a 64-ounce smoothie if you want, or a 32-ounce, like no problem, and you can really just pack everything in there.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the Vitamix is just it's such a versatile tool. I mean, we make vegan mac and cheese in it all the time, so we're able to make able to make vegan cheeses in it. We're able to make fruit veggie smoothies. We can make hummus in it. You can make ice cream in it. You know, it's just there's so many different ways it can be used, and it's such a high quality machine that it's just I think it's just like such an essential. But again, any blender will work, but Vitamix is just kind of like the elite class of blender. But you know, I've operated for years on like an Oster blender from Walmart for like $30. So you know, do whatever works for y'all. Is there anything else you wanted to add on the blender topic?
Nope. I'm ready to move on to tool number 2.
Oh yeah. So this right here is a rice cooker, and I love rice cookers. I just think they really make life really easy. I will say you can get by without one. You are able to boil quinoa and rice in a pan, and you know you can cook them that way. But in my opinion, I think it's just worth like investing like $30 on a rice cooker. If you want to get a nicer one, spend a little extra. It's probably worth the money. But it's really useful because you know you can like soak your rice, go do something else, and then whenever it comes time to cook the rice, you can just you pop it in, you push the on button, and it cooks for like 30 minutes, and then you come back to a complete meal. And if you're cooking stuff on a stovetop, it requires a little bit more attention and time because you have to monitor the cooking process. So, you know, it may be cheaper in the short term to just cook on the stovetop, but if you're looking at things in a long-term perspective, the extra time you're gaining by not having to stand there and cook with the food, I think it just pays off. It just hugely pays huge dividends. Is there anything you want to add about the amazing rice cooker?
Yes. So whenever I moved here to Sarasota, Florida, I actually invested in this rice cooker right here, and I got it from Bed Bath & Beyond. It was about $100, but the cool thing about Bed Bath & Beyond is you can get a 20% coupon just by putting in your email. So I basically got $20 off, which is pretty awesome. And this is Zojirushi. It's a Japanese rice cooker. And what I really like about this...
It's authentic. It's an authentic rice cooker.
Yep, it's...
A lot of rice in Asia.
Yep, they're masters at it. But the really cool thing I like about this one is that it's a non-stick. So, you know, you don't get all the rice sticking to the bottom of your rice cooker. Yeah. I had that problem whenever I had my older rice cooker that I got for like $15 at Walmart. So
that's a really good point, actually. I've had cheap rice cookers in the past, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Like where you get that like thin like rice crust, and it's like it that kind of ruins the whole thing. So I'm happy you brought that up. Yeah.
And also, I want to say that I think the rice cooker is definitely a really essential tool if you guys are bodybuilding out there, or if you're really trying to put on some muscle size. This is a really easy way to get a lot of protein in a day if you're vegan. Like a lot of times I'll put half a cup to a cup of like lentils in here. I'll put like half a cup of black beans. I'll put either quinoa or brown rice, and I'll also put some tofu, and then I'll add some veggies like red onion, green pepper, some potato, different vegetables like that, and you literally just press the on switch after you prepare it all, and you come back and it's ready. and it's really easy just to make a lot of food that's really packed with protein and filling, and you can even put it in containers and just meal prep and save it for later.
Yeah, listening to Chris talk, it kind of brought up one of my favorite dishes I make in the rice cooker. Is like a lot of times I'll throw in quinoa, I'll cube tofu, chop up broccoli, carrot, onion, and garlic, and then throw on some like curry powder, cumin, cayenne pepper, and some turmeric, and mix it all up. And that usually, kidney beans and lentils, that goes in there too. And yeah, it just comes out great. And like Chris was saying, it's just like it's so easy to meal prep a large amount of food that you're able to store in containers. Then you have meals just for like days if you want to do that. But overall, I think the rice cooker is an amazing tool. And it comes in at number 2 at the on the list of top 3 tools to thrive on a vegan diet. The blender being just super essential, and it's just amazing. It's going to make your life so much better. Rice cooker is at 2, and you can get by without it, but it really is worth the investment, and you'll earn back the investment like very quickly, and it's totally worth the purchase.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing about the rice cooker. This is something that if you get like bulk black beans, bulk quinoa, or brown rice, you get some like either bulk lentils. There's a lot of vegetables, you can get that you can put in here that are really cheap. This is something that literally for under $10, maybe upwards of 15 at the most, you could make a meal in here and feed your entire family on just putting this in the rice cooker. So it's a really cheap way to make a lot of food.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The rice cooker really does allow you to really thrive on a vegan diet while on a budget as well. I know when I was living in Texas and money was a little tighter, I definitely used the rice cooker a lot, and made tons of like rice and rice dishes. And the cool thing about those things, like you said, is you can buy them in bulk, which ends up saving you a ton of money. Like you can buy like a 20-pound bag of rice for like $20, and that literally, like I remember I used to have a 20-pound bag of rice in my cupboard, and I literally ate that for like a year. And it's just like it's insane.
I remember that bag actually. I do.
So rice cooker's awesome. The last tool we wanted to share with y'all is actually the food processor. I think this is just an honorable mention. I'd say it's not essential at all. I think it basically serves the same function as a blender, but it's kind of a cool tool because it can grind certain things a little finer, and it's useful for making things like chocolates and fudges, and maybe like grinding nuts and stuff. It can just get like a nice fine texture that the other blenders might have a difficulty like getting. If you are using a cheaper blender, then the food processor becomes an even like more valuable tool, because the cheaper blenders usually don't grind as well as like a Vitamix. So if you'd be using a cheaper blender, the food processor is a cool like accompanying tool, because for maybe like a hummus is probably a little tougher to make in a Oster blender, but you can have a food processor that will give you a really nice fine grind, so you can make things like hummus or like vegan cheese that'll come out really good.
Yeah, a couple points I want to make about the food processor is this is a really it's not maybe as essential tool for somebody that is a vegan, but I think it becomes more and more of an essential tool for someone that is fully raw vegan. We were over at our friends Kristen's and Dominic's, and she made a really, really good fully raw taco recipe where she food processed some walnuts and then she dehydrated it. Basically, she warmed them at about 80 degrees and they're really good. You can also make fully raw vegan like brownie bites and stuff. And we actually have a recipe on our YouTube channel where we made brownie bites. So definitely check that out if you want to know how to use the food processor. Another thing is I really like vegan wings, and you make the batter for the vegan wings with the food processor.
Yeah. To be fair, you could use a blender for that. But again, if you're operating on a cheaper blender, then it's probably not going to get the grind you want. So the food processor comes into play there.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point. But I'm just such a huge fan of the vegan wings, and
yeah, this definitely comes in handy when you're. The food processor definitely comes in handy when you're grinding up the rice checks and getting the bready layer for the tempeh wings, and which I think y'all should definitely check out. You'll fall in love with that. But is there really anything else we need to add to this? I mean, I think we kind of covered the bases.
Yep. I mean, I think these are really the three of the main essential tools.
Absolutely.
To use as a vegan.
Yeah. So we get let's see. Let's organize this for y'all. All right. We have ding 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 ding. We have Vitamix.
Number
No. We have Blender coming in at number 1. Top 3 tools for thriving on a vegan diet.
Number 2.
We have number 2.
We have the rice cooker.
The rice cooker. This will definitely make your life super easy, and it will save you time, save you money. And honorable mention goes to this little guy, the food processor. They do make these in bigger sizes, and had I had more experience, I would have bought a bigger food processor. Tip right there. It can be annoying sometimes using such a small one, but nonetheless, it gets the job done. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment below, like and share this video with your friends who are interested in how to go vegan, because I do get a lot of questions and what the hell do you eat on a vegan diet, and we have a lot of good answers for that, and all these tools will totally help out. And as always, we make these videos
For the animals.
the planet and our health vegan.